What is up, guys? 19 here, and I got the opportunity to see the pilot episode of The Flash. Now, I do advise you guys that this is a spoiler review, meaning that I'll be talking about some of the events that happened in that episode that are spoilery. So if you guys don't want to know anything about The Flash, I do advise you guys to stop watching this video at this moment. But if you guys want to know everything about The Flash, then keep watching this video. I'll give you a couple of seconds to figure out. Alright, let's get started. So, I'm going to do a recap, then my review. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and then I'm going to go on to my top 10 moments. So, the episode starts off before episodes 8 and 9 of Arrow, then jumps to when Barry gets home from Starling City. It shows Barry and Iris at Star Labs when the particle accelerator is about to be activated. Someone steals Iris's laptop, and Barry goes after him but loses that fight. Then they end up going home, and Barry goes to his little office area, and then that's when he gets struck by lightning. So up to that moment, it shows him being rushed into the hospitals, and then it shows 9 months later that he wakes up in Star Labs. So that's pretty much how his story was shown. But then we go on to another character, Clyde Martin, aka the Weather Wizard. Before all of this, back before episodes 8 and 9, he was a villain then. He had a brother, and he and his brother were criminals at that time. So they were trying to get away from Detective West and his partner. So they were flying up in the air, but then the particle accelerator was damaged, and then the lightning bolt struck their plane, and everyone thought that they were both dead. But apparently Clyde Martin survived, and he robs a bank. So later on, Barry confronts Martin, fails, and then Barry learns, he figures out that he wasn't the only one affected by the particle accelerator. And then going off on Harrison Wells fires back, saying that he's not a hero, and that they should leave Martin to the police. So then Barry runs off, goes to Starling City, and talks with Oliver, gaining some advice. And then Barry forms Team Flash, and then Barry, as the Flash, defeats Martin. After Barry defeats Martin, there is a moment where his hood is off, and then Martin knows that Barry is the Flash. But then Iris's dad shoots Martin, supposedly killing him, I think. And then Iris's dad learns that Barry is the Flash. So then after that, Iris's dad tells Barry to keep the truth to himself, keep his secrets, and not tell Iris about anything. Then Barry goes to jail or prison to see his dad. And then after that moment, we sort of get a sort of closing, and then another scene, probably sort of an end credit, not really an end credit. Before the credits come out, we see that Harrison Wells can actually stand up. He's not paralyzed, and goes to this little hologram thing where it shows the Flash disappears in 10 years from now. So overall, what did I like about this pilot episode? What's the good about this episode? Well, first off, the secrets in this episode, the Harrison Wells secret. I actually think that Harrison Wells is actually he's taken the Eddie Thawne persona, the Professor Zoom, because back when I said Barry learns that he's not the only person affected by the particle accelerator, and then he fires at Harrison Wells. Harrison Wells mentions that when they were testing his abilities, how fast he could run, he broke his arm So then Harrison Wells mentions that he lost everything, he can't walk anymore or anything like that, and then Barry could heal his arm in 3 hours. So he was saying inside of him there's this sort of thing about him that could cure him. So I think what happened was Harrison Wells was affected by the particle accelerator, but he was able to heal himself due to the powers he gained, but he kept that a secret to himself. And then I guess he learned that he's the guy who should face the Flash. I don't know, but anyways, I really like that plot twist. That was super crazy. I was WTF, how was he standing and stuff like that. It took me some time to comprehend everything. So yeah, Harrison Wells is not who you think it is, and Harrison Wells is Professor Zoom. Let's put it at that. And then the Grodd tweet tease. What people were saying is that they saw a Gorilla Grodd tease. It's really when Barry and Harrison Wells were walking towards the particle accelerator. There was this cage where it said Grodd on it, and it showed that it was damaged. So what happened was, I think that they were experimenting on him before the particle accelerator, to do something about apes or something, and then Grodd was affected by the particle accelerator, and he escaped. So yeah, and then right off the bat, another thing I liked about the pilot episode is that we get Team Flash really quick. We get Cisco, Caitlin, and Barry all together. I don't really consider Harrison Wells being a member of Team Flash, now that I know his secret, but I'm guessing, I don't trust him. That's what I would say. So he's part of the team, sort of, but he's not. He's kind of that person who shouldn't be trusted. And I do think that someone from the team, probably Caitlin, will realize that he's not trustworthy. And then the flashback. It was pretty much the flashback they were showing in the trailer, but there was another flashback when Barry went back to his house because he was, before his mom died, he ended up far away from his house, and then he arrived back when the police were coming in, and they arrested his dad, and then he saw his mom dead. So that was another flashback. And then onto the Arrow crossover. It was really good. Oliver giving Barry advice, and then Oliver giving Barry's advice, what Barry said to Oliver, wear a mask, and then Oliver mentioning that, take your own advice, wear a mask. It was pretty cool. And then when Oliver left, he jumped off the ceiling, shot an arrow and stuff. Barry was cool, and then Oliver saw Barry running, and he was cool too. So I really like their relationship now. I really do see a miniature Justice League seeing on TV. Oh, and one more thing I have to mention: when Harrison Wells brought up that future newspaper thing, below it you could see Wayne Tech, Queen Incorporated merger completed. So I do think probably if we get to the timeline, if Barry learns that he can time travel in the Speed Force, he starts learning more about his powers, he can time travel. I do think that we're probably going to see Bruce Wayne in the Flash. So what's the bad? Since I've given you all of these good topics, well, first off, I didn't like the fact that Iris and Eddie are dating. I didn't really like that. And also, I didn't like Martin's character. His acting was terrible. But there was this one funny scene where Martin was sitting in his barn, and then Iris's dad and Eddie Thawne confront him, and then Martin goes off saying that he's God, and then Detective West tells him to shut up. It was really funny, and his voice is really high pitched. And then another thing I didn't like, the title credits. The way they were promoting this show, I really thought the title credits would have been high tech and everything, but it was really just downgraded to a black background with the Flash. It was really bad. I think they used the 90s title card. They're probably still working on the actual title credits. They're still trying to figure something out, but they just had to throw something in there since they didn't have anything yet to throw. So I do think that the title credits are gonna get better. Now on to my top 10 moments, starting off with number 10, Barry and Iris's dad argument. Back when Barry confronted Martin as himself, not as the Flash, Barry tells Iris's dad that he saw Clyde Martin, and Iris's dad doesn't believe him. So I did really like that moment, considering that Barry, he's all alone, nobody will believe him, but he has Star Labs, who believes the impossible. But then when Iris's dad found out that Barry's the Flash, he sort of believed everything that he's been telling him his whole life. So I do really like how they connected this episode. Number 9, Barry and Caitlin, you don't smile much. Back when Star Labs was testing Barry's abilities, and Caitlin was fixing Barry up, Barry notices that she doesn't smile, and then she reveals that she lost her job, and her fiance died when the particle accelerator exploded. Number 8, Barry versus Martin. This was when Barry first confronted Martin when he wasn't the Flash. Number 7, Barry wakes up. It was really crazy in how everyone was introducing themselves. Like Cisco was saying like I'm Cisco, she's Caitlin, and then goes off Dr. Snow. It was really funny. Number 6, Flash versus Martin. This is when Barry is the Flash now. Number 5, the Gorilla Grodd tease. I don't think that we're going to see Gorilla Grodd. We might see more references, but I don't think we're going to see him maybe until the next season. Number 4, Iris' dad learns Barry's the Flash. Number 3, Oliver's advice to Barry. Number 2, Barry visits his dad. This was a really cute moment. It was really good, and I really like how John Wesley Shipp, the Flash of the 90s TV show, is playing Henry Allen, Barry's dad. So I really like that. And my number 1 moment, Harrison Wells is Professor Zoom. Really loved it. Really big plot twist. I would have never expected for Flash to take on the Arrow move with what Arrow does. That's it for my spoiler review. I hope you guys are really pumped for this season of The Flash. What do you guys think? Do you think that we may see more of Harrison Wells, showing his evil side? And do you think we'll probably see more Grodd teases as well? And who's the next person to find out Barry's identity? Subscribe to my channel, JediKnight450, and this one for more Flash reviews. I will be doing reviews when the show comes to air in October. I won't be reviewing the pilot episode again, considering that I already reviewed it now. But I will be doing a review for episode 2 when it comes out October 14th. The Flash premieres Tuesday, October 7th on 8 o'clock. And then the next day, Arrow Season 3 premieres. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.